Hey guys, welcome. My name is Kevin Neely. I'm the director of marketing here for AMBEST. And if you're watching this, you probably see a guy right over here that probably needs no introduction, especially if you're a truck driver. You already know him. You probably know him as the mother trucker or mother trucker. You got to say it with you got to have the say it. But, you guys know Alex Mai. Alex and I have kind of gotten to know each other over the last couple of years, and I can tell you that this guy has a heart for truck drivers, and he believes in what he says and what he does. He's been there, he's experienced it, and he knows. But I want to introduce him to you, and then we're going to talk about a few things that maybe would be kind of interesting to you, especially if you're over the road truck driver and you live in that kind of world. But Alex, say hi, bud.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Yeah, just like my guy Kevin told y'all, simple as that. I was a truck driver for over 12 years, making videos and advocating for truck drivers, and pretty much just keeping people informed on what's going on in the trucking industry.
Love having you here. And, we've talked a lot of AMBEST. We believe very similar, right? We have a heart for truck drivers. We love independent truck stops. That's what we do. It's the mom and pops, the guys that get up and go to work every day. And that's who we are at our core and what we love to do. So, hey, listen, so a few weeks ago, got the opportunity. I didn't get to make it up there, but our president, Chuck Ryan, invited you and a couple of folks with the NATSO group to go up to Washington, D.C. for the Day on the Hill. And so I just kind of wanted to see what your thoughts were. What struck me as really cool about this is because you are a truck driver and you've been in that spot, you've sat in that seat. There are so many things I think that you have perspective on that maybe a lot of people in Congress and just out there in the world don't really understand. What did you see when you had some chance to spend some time up there on the Hill?
I noticed that there's just a lot of procedures when it comes to getting things done, right? And as a truck driver, there's a lot of things that sometimes we're unhappy about. And I think the first thing that you think to yourself is we need to shut down, block the streets, and start making a lot of people mad that can't get to work in the morning. That's a emotional state that us as truck drivers, we feel like this is our way of expressing that, hey, we're not happy with something.
Right.
But having the actual opportunity to go to Day on the Hill, I'm learning that there's processes to this, and there's ways that you can actually talk to your congressmen and women and senators. And so being there, just being a fly on the wall, it kind of inspired me to be able to just say, you know what, I need to be involved more on this level and also be the voice to the truck drivers and let them know that, hey, this is how they go about making these laws and regulations. And if you do have opinion about it, let's talk about it, because they actually always have surveys about it before they even make it into a bill. It's just as truck drivers, we don't know about these surveys, and it gets passed into a law, and then a whole bunch of people are upset, right? I don't want to say we have to play their game, but it's one of those things where you have to play that process.
You made a comment that I thought I want to kind of follow up on. You said talking to your congressmen and representatives. I know that sometimes, like me personally, and I'm sure truck drivers do too, like you feel like you don't really have a voice. Like even if you know them or if you see them in a session, like you don't really ever get a chance to like talk to them. Did you get to talk to anybody? Did you actually get to like interact with those people?
Yeah. So pretty much during the actual Day of the Hill, there were like slot and meeting times. And so I actually got to play fly on the wall and go with a couple of the operators. The shoemakers, which is a part of AMBEST.
Yeah.
Raina, props to her, props to Envo. I got to tag along with Jerry. And so I got to sit in the room while they were having these conversations with I would say the staff. So that's the way it operates. So for people that don't know, you don't just get to talk to your senator right away. Most of the time you're talking to their staff, and then they're writing notes about it. Okay. And then they relay those notes to, the senators and congressmen and women. You think you're going to go there and just, break necks and crack skulls. You're talking to their bodyguards first.
Right. Talk about what is your perception. And I don't want to dog on people. I'm not trying to put down our in Congress. God knows that happens enough as it is. But do you think they learned stuff, from having the Day on the Hill? Do they get inside, or is it just a dog and pony show?
I I would say honestly, it could be a toss up just for the fact that there are so many laws and regulations that they have to write in place and fight for every minute of the day. So it's one of those things where it's almost like they are not the professional in the trucking industry. Right. So that's why having lobbyists, like we were there with NATSO, and NATSO had their lobbyists to help get the staff and congressmen and women and senators to kind of understand. Even the people of power are like, we know 1000% that you know more than us about this. So they're not pretending to know more than the owner operator of a truck stop about how to run a truck stop. It was interesting to me that they didn't know as much. You know what I mean? Because I would, and when I think back, that does make sense, because when there's so many industries and so many laws and so many quarrels that people have, you're not going to know every single thing about every single industry.
Sure. Yeah, you know? Absolutely. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
But they need to be educated more on it. And that's what we're here for.
You know, I get an email from NATSO every day that kind of says what they're working on, what they're doing. And we share as we can with our members and truck stop operators. And, you know, it's good to see them having a voice and being able to speak up and act on our behalf. And you know, it's just so easy to get cynical about it, or so easy to be like, oh, there's nothing, this is never going to work. But they are making progress. I mean, you know, and they're definitely out there kind of pushing for us. So I'll give them that. NATSO does a good job. And but okay, well, so what else did you think? What were your takeaways from being up there on the Hill that day?
They need a guy like me to be there more. That's really my take. You know, they need someone that's actually in the industry. But now, because of that inspiration, I'm making friends with Todd Spencer, who is the president of OIDA.
Oh yeah.
Who's, you know, who has a lot of things to say. And I've listened to a lot of things he's said, and we agree on a lot of things. So it's kind of one of those things where that whole trip just inspired me now to make new relationships with people that can help truck drivers.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of like the next step is now maybe I could work hand in hand with the president of the Owner Operator Association that represent all owner operators in America per se, and maybe we could make those changes. Yeah, and so that's really the takeaway. It's just I was like, you know what? Before I went, I was like, what would a single guy like me, what could I do to make a change? And then you get there and you find out that these senators are human beings. You find out that these people don't have understanding about everything. And wait a minute, we actually know a little bit more about it. So it's given me encouragement to want to do more and go back again and go back with other industries in trucking. And truck drivers got a truck. That's just the truth. You know, they don't have enough time to spend 3 days on the Hill, but I'll do it for them, you know.
Well, I can tell you, they don't have, they couldn't have asked for a better representative. So,
come on, we do what we can.
No, you know, you look, the times I've hung out with you and got to see you kind of in your element with truck drivers. It's awesome because there's a respect that they have for you. And I'm not saying that flippantly. I say that because I think you've earned it. I
appreciate you.
That you care about what they do. I mean, I'm glad we were able to get you guys up there, get you up there to see it and learn it. And I think it's awesome to have guys like you up there. We need more real voices that they can listen to, you know.
If I was going to do a conclusion or overview about my experience there, hey, anybody out there, if you feel strongly about something, especially because we're talking about the trucking industry, you're not alone. A lot of people, they feel the same way. And guess what? You can actually make a difference, you know, which is crazy.
No, we appreciate all that you do out there. Like I said, I think our hearts beat very similar in that we care about the guys and the gals on the road. We have to have rules, regulations, and laws. And I think that they want, like you said, they want to do the right thing, but we've also got to make it to where it's not so cumbersome that our drivers can't get the job done.
No, I agree. And I want to thank, you know, you, Kevin, thank AMBEST, you know, y'all for rooting for me and allowing me to even have a, you know, golden ticket or, you know, being able to be a fly on the wall to experience that. And so, you know, I thought that was awesome. So I appreciate you guys. You know, that's how I know, you know, AMBEST cares about truck drivers because, you know, you're giving a guy like me an opportunity to at least be a part of the conversation. And that alone is like a big step for us because, you know, we kind of do feel alone out here. And, you know, hopefully, hey, maybe this conversation that we're having on this call might spark something in another truck driver, and we just keep it going, you know.
All right, man. So last thing is, I love that hat you're wearing. Where did you get that?
Selfless merchandise marketing right now.
Chance, man. You got to plug it.
I tell you, you know, first off, you know, co-owner of Big Rig Tees. So mother truckers, you know, check this out, bigrigtees.com. We actually don't sell online. We sell in a handful of AMBEST truck stops. And, you know, you guys could check our map to see where else we sell them. But yeah, check it out. Go on bigrigtees.com and check out our local map.
Getting it because the mother trucker merchandise never stays on the shelf. So
I'll pay you later for that. That's some great marketing. I appreciate you.
Well, listen, I appreciate all that you do, both and, you know, kind of from the Asian Mai show and all the things that you do to help our truck drivers, and also from the Big Rig Tee side. We do work with Big Rig Tees. A lot of our locations have opted to sell to participate in the Big Rig Tees merchandise. We don't force them to. We don't make them. We just make it available. Yeah. I know right now you can go on the Big Rig Tee site, and they have all the locations listed, both AMBEST and non-AMBEST locations. So,
thank you, Kevin. I appreciate you, man. I feel the same way about you, brother.
All right, bud. Well, listen, thanks for stopping in, bud, and let's do this again.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.